Special Rapporteur on the Situation of Human Rights in Eritrea issued a report on the situation of human rights in Eritrea on Tuesday, saying the human rights situation in Eritrea has shown no improvement over the past few years and has in fact deteriorated since the start of the war on Tigray. The report said that Eritrea's involvement in the war on Tigray has compounded the severe human rights challenge Eritrea faces and reinforced pre-existing patterns of human rights violations. The Special Rapporteur emphasized that peace deal between Ethiopia and Eritrea had been a source of optimism amongst many that it would result in the reform of national service, but has instead seen the program that it identifies as one of the main sources of human rights violation in the country further intensifies. The report recognized the forced conscription of children as young as 12 and people as old as 17 being forced into national service, and said children as young as 16 were said to be taking part in active combat with very limited military training, and has reported them as having sustained heavy injury. The report said that young people were forced to participate in the war on Tigray under threat of severe punishment to themselves and their families. According to the report, draft evaders or deserters are routinely punished with arbitrary detention in highly punitive conditions and often subjected to torture and inhuman or degrading treatment, and extrajudicial killing of conscripts when they try to escape from Tigray or from training centers in Eritrea. The report said parents of conscripts were detained, coherence conscripts into serving into the military, and failure to respond to a conscription notice by a member of the family would result in the denial of food coupons for entire family. The report said that forced conscription of children has affected the moral and motivation of young Eritreans and has resulted in severe brain drain in the country. This situation has also generated additional challenges for the quality and availability of basic services, including access to health and education. The rapporteur emphasized that while the Eritrean government had announced the withdrawal of its forces from Tigray in June of 2021, it had confirmed the presence of Eritrean forces in northern and western Tigray as early as August of 2021, including Eritrean troops' occupation of a key area in western Tigray that may be used to deliver assistance through Sudan. The rapporteur also highlighted persistent challenges in the protection of Eritrean refugees in Ethiopia and said many had been forcibly taken back to Eritrea and later forced to return to Tigray as soldiers to take part in active combat. The report also indicated to the failure of Eritrean state to make any progress towards the development of minimal institutions, infrastructures necessary to effectively protect and ensure respect for human rights in Eritrea, and emphasized that basic principles towards the implement of rule of law were yet to be implemented. As the state continues to suppress religious as well as political rights of the Eritrean people, and many are detained in inhuman condition for their political and religious beliefs. The report called for the immediate and unconditional release of all persons illegally and arbitrarily detained by Eritrean authorities, including the 11 members of the G15 members of the political opposition, journalists, prisoners of conscience, and members of religious groups, and to take necessary steps to prevent forced conscription in the recruitment of children to fight in Tigray. The rapporteur recommended that member states and international organizations keep Eritrea under close scrutiny as the human rights situation in the country remains dire, and exercise universal jurisdiction over alleged crimes against humanity and grave human rights violation when an alleged offender is present in their territory of member states.